Game's over, and everybody's, of course, getting ready to receive the medals in the Copa America third place match. And with all the hype and hoopla had gone on, many tend to forget the final result. Of course, Argentina winning 2-1 against Chile in a third place match that maybe some again these third place matches, each and every one has an individual connotation depending on the needs and the wants of a certain individual or team and what they're looking for and how they're looking to end a tournament. So in terms of just having those, just flatly say, well, third place matches don't mean anything. To some people they do. But this one just had a different feel to it. Chile, okay, everything happens there, and then Argentina come out. And the big question mark is, where's Leo? People start asking questions. Where's Leo? Where's Leo? Where's Leo? Where's Leo? Comes out and starts talking to the media and starts saying, CONMEBOL is corrupt. I don't want to be a part of that show. And how one interprets it, Messi and many others, many in the media thought that Argentina got screwed out of winning or getting to the final of the Copa America. Many. I don't necessarily fall into that category. I do fall into the category that there were 2 penalties that were not called. Now, knowing how things have gone, maybe, just maybe, that could have gone their way. Best case scenario, maybe it's a draw. You still aren't guaranteed to advance. And that's, I think, where many people tend to say, whoa, Argentina got screwed. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. You could make that argument. And again, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to say that I'm right. And that's the beauty of this entire discussion, that we can defer, that we can have different opinions in terms of what has gone on in a particular match. Messi, he even said it. It wasn't his best Copa America. It was not his best Copa America at all. And that's respectable as far as what he said. And you were looking for, but then this comment, this outburst, if you will, so atypical of him, ends up bringing to the forefront this forced, I guess for lack of a better term, you can call it a forced Argentinization of Leo Messi. And many were starting to say, hey, we lost the Copa America, but we won over a captain. We have a captain now. And that's one of the things that people were looking at as a positive. Is there a bright future with this new captain, if you want to call him that, that's willing to go out there? Who knows? I mean, right now, if you look at Article 7, CONMEBOL is not too fond of people that criticize them with no foundation. Now, we've seen the foundations. And many of the foundations happen to be in the United States, where they're being either indicted, they have been indicted, they're going to jail, they have been in jail, they've already faced a sentence, or they're ready to be sentenced. So yeah, there is history of corruption and all those things. But then again, let's take a step back even further. Let's take an even greater step back and forget that Leo Messi said what he said. Leo Messi is being represented by Claudio Tapia. Claudio Tapia is the vice president of CONMEBOL, who in turn represents CONMEBOL in FIFA. What does this say? What does this say about everything? Now, Chiqui Tapia, just a couple of days ago, obviously after the match against Brazil, sends out a 6-page statement talking about how he felt harmed, how he felt that Argentina had been screwed over, how he felt that they had been damaged. Yet, just a few days ago, he was still fighting for a position in the World Cup, in the 2030 World Cup. He was still fighting for the final of the Copa America next year. He's still looking for chances. He's still looking for opportunities. He's still looking for a way to make a change. He's still looking for all that. He's still looking in the midst of this power struggle that he's having with CONMEBOL. He is CONMEBOL. So think of it from that perspective. That's all I have to say about that. There are a lot of uncertainties with the Argentine national team. So many that come and say that they would have been in the final. I don't know if they would have been in the final or not. Argentina didn't have a tremendous Copa America if you look at it from the big picture. Match 2-0 that they lost to Colombia. They drew with Paraguay, and they were saved by a penalty call. They beat Qatar, although Qatar had them against the ropes on several occasions. Venezuela did the same thing too. And then came Brazil. And there were moments that Argentina did play better. And that maybe that was their best match. But still, it wasn't enough to be able to beat Brazil. And now, what I do impart on is the fact that I don't think referees win or lose matches. I think they have an influence in them at one point or another. But I don't think that Argentina lost because of the refs. I think Argentina lost because they had breakdowns from a defensive perspective. Both goals were defensive breakdowns. The first one, of course, not being able to stop an incredible Dani Alves in that match. And the second one, of course, yeah, you can say everything, you can go in favor or against of the penalty call. But Argentina didn't play the whistle. Argentina just stood there and watched as Brazil went down the field and ended up scoring the second goal of the match and pretty much put it out of reach. There were moments, there were instances, but it wasn't enough. You can't live off moments and instances in a football match if you want to consistently win. You can't. Unfortunately, if you're Argentina, you based your coach until at least December on 20-minute stretches. Not once did Argentina play a consistent match for 90 minutes. Maybe the Chile match, and not even that. I would even presume. That's all I can tell you. That this national team has some players that maybe stepped into the fray and stepped out of the shadows and are able to fill in compared to what was there before, or what was missing, and they were able to come in. Now the big question mark is, will they be able to continue without Messi? At least two matches. World Cup qualifiers that would, of course, start in March. But what if? Just imagine, what if? What if he is suspended for 2 years? What if he is suspended for 2 years? Think about that. There is that possibility. And you kind of understand where he's coming from, the frustrations and everything. And there's, look, people can say whatever they want. And there might be some foundation to what he's saying. I know what I just said as far as the history. Of course, the track record is there. But do you have concrete evidence? And I think that's one of the big problems that this particular issue, this particular story has. What's going to happen? Now, as of earlier today, and I'm recording on a Monday, now CONMEBOL is waiting for Argentina to step down from the 2030 World Cup. Do you think that they're going to do it? I don't know. You tell me. But overall, yeah, there's still just as many questions that became evident in Copa America. They're still there compared to how they ended. There's a lot of things that are there. I mean, the substitutions that Scaloni made at times. He looked like Greg Berhalter at times with his substitutions. And those of you that follow the United States know exactly what I'm talking about. Scaloni leaves a lot to be desired, but then he's been able to at least put this team together haphazardly, with a bit of haste, reluctantly bringing in players, reluctantly denying the opportunity for others. But still, he was able to do what he could with what he had. And that is the reality of the moment with Argentine football. Brazil was the better team. Let's not, any two ways about it. Let's not confuse things. Let's not mess things up. Let's not try and divert the reality of the situation. Brazil were the better team. The fact that there's instances that make you think, well, maybe there could have been more. Maybe that might have been more. But with Argentina, there really never was. In moments, they had that moment towards the end where they could have, should have, might have, but didn't. And that was the entire Copa America. It was just moments and instances and little sparks here and there where they could at least give it a shot, give it a go, and at least put up a fight. But the reality is another one. The reality is that there's still a ways to go. But you have people that are still in the shadows. And Messi exposed himself in a way that I don't know what will happen with him. There's still a lot of question marks with this national team. And right now, if Messi's gone, those question marks will get much bigger, much louder, and much more worrisome.